I think we are live. Welcome everyone to this week's Facebook Live event, which is all about physical activity. I'm Coach Anneke and I am joined by Coach Vera, and we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Want to invite you to please say hi as you're joining and let us know where you're joining from. So we know that summer presents different challenges when it comes to keeping up our exercise routines, from hot weather to travel to changes in your schedule or routine. It can be really easy to put it on the back burner. So tonight we want to share some of our top strategies for keeping up our exercise routines despite these challenges. So we, of course, encourage you to share your own strategies and tips in the comments as we discuss tonight.
Yep. And you guys, before we get started with our support session, we do want to give a quick update about our inventory. So we have some good news that we are happy to share that all products are back in stock and available for purchase, except for the vegetable stew with beef entree, which we anticipate being available sometime next week. So in addition to our website, most of our foods, including the 120 shakes, are also available to order on Amazon. And Anneke, are you able to tell us who's joined the live so far?
Yeah, it looks like so far we have Bob and we have Eloise joining us. So we just encourage you guys to say hi as you're joining. I know some might still be joining, so just please share who you are and where you're joining from as you join here. Oh, we have Deb. Hi, Deb. Always good to have you. So let's get into it here. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the different challenges related to getting in physical activity during the summer months, and some ideas for us to make sure that, you know, physical activity doesn't go on the back burner during this time. So the first thing we want to talk about tonight is weather. So in many parts of the country, high temperatures during the summer can make outdoor physical activity really challenging. Not to mention with some of the smoke we have in certain areas of the country right now, it may even be unsafe to get outside. So in fact, when we polled the Facebook group earlier this week, 35% of people that answered the poll cited weather as being the biggest hindrance to getting in PA during the summer. So oftentimes you might need to get out and walk at sunrise to beat the heat. And if that's the case for you, it may be helpful to explore some other options. So I want to ask you guys, those of you tuning in the chat, to share in the comments some alternatives to outdoor physical activity that can really help you stay active during the hot summer months.
And Coach Anneke, actually, one of those alternatives happens to be going back indoors into a gym. Actually, something that kind of rings a bell with me is, okay, air conditioning. And as you're bringing up, unfortunately, sometimes there can be hazardous smoke conditions, other air quality conditions, especially during the summer months. So actually checking out and exploring the gym memberships that might be available to you in your area. Actually, a lot of gyms do offer a free or deeply discounted trial membership period, so that you can really sample the facilities before you make any sort of commitment. This can be a great way to get outside of your comfort zone and really explore a wide variety of physical activities that, you never know what you're going to like until you try it. Also look for those local gyms when you are traveling. I mentioned previously those drop-in rates. So when you're traveling, looking kind of ahead and planning out where those gyms might be that might have that drop-in rate, again, a deeply discounted rate for a day use or even a weekly use fee. Sometimes you'll be able to find that as well. Try out pool exercises. This is the perfect time of year, whether you're joining an organized aqua fitness class or even a swimming group, something like that. There's also, Coach Anneke, just pool walking and pool jogging. Just to give a quick description of what that is, you're getting in a pool and you're walking through the water as resistance exercise. We don't necessarily need to know how to swim. We can be in standing water only for that. Other water activities that I'm thinking about, of course, summer activities, maybe a lake cabin or checking out the lake or going on a beach vacation. You've got stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, other more active water sports, if that's something that you're interested in. Again, lake swimming or some gentle ocean swimming, if you're comfortable with that. Really get out there and take advantage of the summer weather. So let's sort of use it as a check in the plus column as well. And then again, getting back to sampling that indoor PA, Coach Anneke bringing up the great point of outdoor conditions maybe not being great during the summer months, not letting that get in the way. We have so many great products now with the smart TVs. You can always check out a good YouTube workout. The smart TVs, though, you're able to stream a workout on a big screen TV. So planning to get an indoor workout is also a great way to practice that variety so that you have different methods to get the PA. So if an outdoor workout isn't going to work, sampling going inside during the summer months is also a great option as well.
Yeah, definitely. I did want to highlight too, when we were asking people earlier in the week about the hindrance to getting in PA during the summer, one of our Facebook community members, Kim, she had a couple great suggestions for YouTube fitness channels. And one she suggested was Grow with Joe, and the other was Juice and Toya. And, these are just different YouTube channels that offer workouts anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. There's also, of course, Leslie Sansone is a very popular person on YouTube for indoor walking videos. I personally really like this channel Puzzle Fit, which offers low intensity interval training. Of course, there are seated exercise videos, and there are just so many no equipment options that make these videos really accessible for everyone, as well as accommodating to different, levels of fitness. So, it can be really fun to just explore the different options for indoor PA, especially, during the hot months. Another thing to consider is purchasing indoor exercise equipment. You can find various used equipment on Facebook Marketplace, or even investing in a treadmill or a walking pad to just make it easier to get your steps in indoors. One other thing that has been pretty popular with our members is the QB machines, which are, helpful for putting under your desk or getting in some exercise, just seated in your living room while you're sitting on the couch. So, a lot of options for indoor physical activity. I will say I got my treadmill in 2020 when here in California, we were having all of the fires and there was smoke for months on end, and I have never regretted it for a moment since. It's just so helpful to have that option when you can't get outside.
Yeah.
So let me check in and see. I know we have quite a few that have joined us here. I see Tracy has joined us, Sandy, Alice, Toby, Deb sharing aqua classes are my favorite. Outdoor pool is the best. Let's see, Bob, welcome. Great. Thanks for letting us know where you guys are joining us from. And, continue to share, what you do to get in that exercise, that movement when you can't get outside, in addition to what we've mentioned here. So Vera, do you want to go on to the next topic here?
Yeah. And, Anneke, during the summer months too, a lot of us have different times off. Kids are out of school. So it represents that capital T travel opportunity is really big during this time of year. But traveling can also make it very challenging to keep up with our physical activity routines. It can be one more thing that throws us off of that track. But with a little bit of planning, we can avoid having that travel interfere with getting in exercise, and we can look for those opportunities to get the PA in purposefully while we're traveling. Good opportunity. Please write in the chat, you guys, share your notes. You're the experts. How do you like to get your physical activity planned while you are traveling? One great way to do this is to really schedule it into your travel itinerary on travel day. So this looks like if you're traveling by car, plan your rest stops to also include walking breaks, physical activity breaks. It's going to feel instantly rewarding and be a good reminder to get out there and stretch your legs. If you're traveling by plane, arrive early enough. Don't worry, I can hear the laughter through the computer. Arrive early enough so that you can get some extra walking done in the airport. More realistically, if we have a layover or perhaps a flight delay, just see it as an opportunity to get extra steps. Airports are very large and great opportunities for walking, fortunately or unfortunately, in those airport situations. Again, having a layover, a great opportunity to take a walk in one of those airports.
Absolutely. And also, if you have a layover, getting in that walk can also be a good environmental control strategy, since a lot of the food and drinks in the airport is probably not something that we want to spend a lot of time around. So it can just really help you stay focused on those travel days, on getting in that movement where you can. So also another thing, when we're thinking about travel and wanting to keep up our PA routines, it's always a good idea to schedule it into your itinerary at your destination. So if you think about scheduling it into your itinerary, it could mean starting the day with a walk, or even a no equipment video in your hotel room. I've definitely set up my phone with my YouTube video from a hotel room to get in a little bit of movement. Also choosing excursions that can help you stay active. One thing that I like to do when I'm traveling to a new city is look up the free walking tours in the cities that I'm going to. So that way it gives you a chance to explore where you're going, but also working in physical activity into your day. So I love to look for free walking tours. Another thing that you can do is the All Trails app is really great for seeing different trails in your area. So again, if you're, going to the beach or, going somewhere out of town, it can help you kind of plan different physical excursions that you can do while you're out of town. Something else that Vera, you kind of mentioned earlier, is researching fitness facilities where you're going. You can, of course, if they have it at the hotel, that's great. But you can also see, what's nearby to where you're staying, sign up for a day or even a week pass to, get some movement in, or even signing up for fitness classes ahead of time. We were talking before we got on about this app called ClassPass, which actually lets you buy credits towards exercise classes. So it might be worth checking ahead of time if you're going to a particular city, what they offer. And it could be actually kind of a fun way to try something new with your physical activity, while you're there. But whatever route you decide to take, we want to make sure that it is planned into our schedule, because otherwise, it may, again, fall on the back burner and may not happen if we're not thinking about it ahead of time. Yeah. So let me see what people are saying in the chat here. I see we have Barbara going to walk the airport. Bob sharing the Freedom Trail in Boston is great for walking and learning about local history. Absolutely, great way to learn some new things and get the movement in. Awesome. Well, guys, continue to share, your best travel strategies when it comes to physical activity. The more ideas that we have, the better.
And Anneke, we're talking about so many great apps, and I just want to add in Peloton, because I think sometimes folks think they might need to own one of the pieces of equipment to take advantage of the app. You don't. And as soon as you were saying hotel workouts, I said, oh, that's when I set up my Peloton app. They have body weight strength workouts. They have yoga. They have Pilates. They have shadow boxing stuff lately. They have guided workouts that you can take for a hike or a run or a walk outside. I don't work for Peloton, but I really can't recommend it highly enough. And I think that maybe not enough people take advantage of it. You don't have to own one of their bikes or one of their treadmills. It's a fantastic fitness app, and they really do a good job of making it inclusive for all levels. So that's a great one. If you're traveling this summer, just give it a try. Try out the trial period. So let's get on to the last barrier during the summer months to PA can be the changes in the schedule, changes in the routine. We've been talking about this a little bit with the traveling, but really anytime there's a change in the schedule, it can impact our ability to stay consistent with the physical activity routine. And I'm thinking of childcare, caring for children that are out of school, helping to take care of grandkids or family members' children's. If we are taking care of kids that are now out of school, that can mean we have less time available for dedicated physical activity. If this is the case for you, start to consider family activities that can help keep everyone active: biking, rollerblading, indoor skating rinks, as long as we're talking about taking it indoors if need be It's a great way to stay active while also staying cool as well. Find a local community pool in your area or at a local YMCA. You can get a continuous movement while you're swimming and playing with the kids. You're in the water, and that is resistance exercise, actually. And again, we keep talking about apps today, but there's one that I thought of for this in particular. It's called Resort Pass. And if you really look it up, because any city that you're in really will probably have access to an app like Resort Pass, where what this is, you guys, is it's pretty cool. For a really discounted rate, 20, 25 bucks, you can go to a resort or a facility that has a nice pool facility. You can take advantage of all the amenities for the day. You can bring the kiddos, you're getting some activity, you're bringing your HMR foods and your snacks with you. And it's a nice way to have an active activity, again, when the kiddos are out of school. And you can kind of enjoy your own city and have it play a staycation sort of thing during using an app like that app. Put on some music, have a dance party with the kids. I mean, make it fun for everybody. And we know that if we're burning calories, if we're huffing and puffing, that means that we're getting that moderate intensity exercise. And then lastly, we know this works, tried and true. Put it into the schedule it like any other important meeting. Consider scheduling movement at a time of day that is realistic for you to commit to. This might mean waking up 5, 10, 15 minutes early, or perhaps if the kiddos have a designated downtime, that can be the time where you're planning and scheduling your physical activity. And then you can learn to build consistency around a new for you time of day for that movement. The more that you repeat this habit, the more likely it is to stick. And I'm wondering if you've had anybody who's in this live, have you ever had an occasion where you've needed to kind of tweak the time of day that you were participating in your physical activity? Have you ever had to change your PA routine for the summer? What have you done differently? What has worked for you in the past? We'd like to hear that from you guys here in the chat. What has worked for you successfully in the past around maintaining a summertime physical activity habit?
Yeah, and please guys share anything else that you'd like to add about what helps you stay active during the summer months. I wanted to highlight, Bob said that his wife and he have been doing walks at the local mall, which is another great way
idea
to get in some of those walks, get in more movement when you can't get outside. Barbara shared that she uses the Peloton app for treadmill work at hotels, so you can use it for that as well. Sandy, kayaking, canoeing, rafting. So, a lot of great ideas shared in the chat here. We appreciate you guys sharing what you do to keep active during the summer months. So to summarize here, we know that, again, the summer months can present new challenges for keeping up our exercise routines. We may have to make some changes, but what's important is that we find a way to stay active. If the weather, the travel, or changes in your schedule or routine have the ability to negatively impact our PA, we must, consider it and make a plan. So hopefully you've heard at least one thing that you can try this week. We've listed a few different apps here, different ways to get in physical activity despite those challenges. So again, we hope this was helpful and gave you some tips and support for summer physical activity. As always, if you were unable to join the full event tonight, you can always find the recording under the videos on the HMR program Facebook page or at the top of our closed community Facebook page as well. And just be sure to keep an eye out, guys, for announcements about our July Facebook Live event in the coming weeks. Again, thank you so much for being here, and we hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.